Hi everybody, I'm Melissa Barloggy and this is my demonstrative speech. Today I'll be making ice cream pie. So the ingredients that we'll need is whipped cream, Oreos, a pie pan, an ice cream scoop, a butter knife, chocolate and caramel syrup, melted butter, a rolling pin, vanilla ice cream, cherries, sliced bananas, a quart-gallon Ziploc bag, and a small measuring cup. So, the steps to making this is, first we need to crush the Oreos by placing it in a Ziploc bag and rolling over it with a rolling pin. And then we need to mix the crushed Oreos with 1 tablespoon of melted butter and spread over the pie pan. Then we have to lay sliced bananas across the bottom of the pie pan until it's completely covered. And then we get to scoop ice cream onto the shell and spread evenly. And then we have to put it in the fridge for a couple of hours or until you think that it's stiff enough. And then we have to take it out and evenly spread whipped cream over it. And then we have to take the remaining banana slices and place them into the whipped cream. And then we have to spread the cherries evenly over the top however you want to put them. And then we need to drizzle chocolate and caramel syrup on it, and then you get to eat it. Okay, so now we're going to start making it. So you have to get your Ziploc bag and open it and put your Oreos in. And then you need to make sure that you get all the air out of it. And this is really fun to do with kids because if you're babysitting or something, kids really like to crush up these Oreos. I know that whenever my sister used to do it with me, it was a lot of fun. So first you pound it a little bit, and then you take your rolling pin, and you just roll over it. And it can take a lot of time, sometimes, so I went ahead and made one for us earlier to save a little bit of time. So then we take this and we take our melted butter and we pour it into the bag, and then we mix it up a little bit. This helps the Oreos get a little stiffer so they'll make more of a shell for us. So you mix it all up and then you pour it into your pie pan. And then you have to take your hand and kind of squish it down a little bit to shape it into the shape of a pie pan, like a shell. If you don't want to do this, it is a little messy, and you can buy Oreo shells at stores, but it's cheaper to just make it yourself. So once you get that all crushed up and laid down right how you want it, you're going to take your bananas and you're going to lay them across the bottom like this. And the bananas are optional. If you don't really like bananas, you don't have to put them in, but it kind of makes it more like a banana split. And I like banana splits. I like to put bananas in there. But also, if you know that someone who will be eating it doesn't like bananas, you can only put it on 1/2, and then they could eat the half without bananas. So now that we have the bananas in, we get to take our ice cream and scoop it on top of the Oreos and bananas. Like this. And then you take your knife and spread the ice cream out evenly. It's a little easier if you get your ice cream out a little before you're planning on doing this, so it's a little softer. But it's not that big a deal because ice cream melts pretty easily. So just spread it out. It can mix with the Oreos a little bit because Oreos and ice cream go pretty well together. And then once you have it spread out to the way that you want it, pretty evenly, or as evenly as you can get it, you take it and you put it in the fridge or freezer for a little bit until you think it's stiff enough. Usually this is about 4 hours, but if you're in a little bit of a time crunch, you can leave it in there for a little bit of less time than that. So we're just going to leave it in there for a little bit. Then we're going to take it out. Make sure it's stiff. It's not moving around. Now we are going to take the whipped cream and take your knife and pour it over the ice cream and Oreo shell that's on the sides and spread it out evenly. You can use as much whipped cream or as little whipped cream as you want to use, and you can spread it out kind of like decoratively, like you can whisk it around, or you can just lay it out flat. Either way, doesn't really matter. And then when you have the right amount that you want, you get to take some more of your bananas and you get to stick it into the whipped cream so it's kind of sticking up. And again, if you have someone who doesn't like bananas, try to keep it on like the half that they aren't going to eat, so you can make everybody happy that way. So once you have enough bananas in that you're happy with, you take your cherries, because you need cherries for a sundae, and you can place these however you want. You can put them randomly around, or you can think about how you want to cut it, and you can just put like one on each slice. Just depends how many cherries you want to use. And again, if you know that someone who will be eating it doesn't like cherries, you can try to put it in one part of the pie, or maybe pick off two because they're cherries. So now that we have our cherries on, we just need our syrups. So we have our caramel and chocolate syrups. So you just drizzle it on however much you want. It doesn't really matter. Just like that. Your chocolate, and then your caramel. Still coming up. There you go. And then you're finished. You have your ice cream pie. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned how to make ice cream pie, and here's my audience.